Now I know everyone's going to be asking me this. What do you mean almost won? Michael Waltrip is the greatest driver of all time. He's won every race. And while that is true, there's a difference between races that Michael Waltrip has won, which is all of them, and races that NASCAR said Michael Waltrip won. And today, we're going to be looking at the latter. Here's 12 races that Michael Waltrip almost won. We start off this list by looking at the 1988 Miller High Life 500 at Pocono, which was a Cup Series race. Jeff Bodine and Mikey were 1-2 due to fuel strategy at the end, and eventually Jeff Bodine walked away with the race win. However, in Bodine's interview, he said that he ran out of fuel on the cooldown lap. Now what if that race was one lap longer? Or what if Jeff Bodine pitted a lap earlier? Then Michael Waltrip would have picked up his first career win in only his third full-time season. Also, his finish in this race was his first top 5 of his career. The next race is the 1992 Daytona 500. Michael Waltrip would start this race in 10th and would be inside the top 10 for most of the race. With under 10 to go, he sat second with a legitimate shot to steal the win away from Davey Allison. However, under commercial break, things would go wrong.
Just coming out of turn number 4, Michael Waltrip's number 30. Looks like it's lost a cylinder. Running in second place, backing up, is the Bahari Racing Team.
What would have happened if Mikey's car didn't break? Would he pass Davey Allison for the win? I guess we'll never know. The third race on this list is the 1992 Fram Filters 500K, a Grand National Series race. Mikey would start 7th in the race and have a great run as he would even lead some laps. However, while fighting for the lead on the white flag, Michael would get no help and eventually finish 2nd place. But what if he had help getting by Ernie Irvan? Would he be able to hold off the pack like Irvan usually did? And even though he lost, Michael Waltrip still beat the man in black, Dale Earnhardt. Race number 4 is the 2000 NapaOnline.com 250, a Busch Series race. Mikey would start 9th in his number 7 Band-Aid car and run inside the top 5 all day long, and also lead some laps. However, this race was about clean air, the draft, and using your own momentum. With 8 to go, Mikey would have a good enough run to maybe get by Todd Bodine for the win.
Look at Michael go high. Look at him on the outside. Todd Bodine, oh man, he just goes up right in front of Michael Waltrip.
He would not be able to get another good run like this and would finish 2nd to Todd Bodine, which would be Bodine's first win in 3 years. Now, what if Todd Bodine didn't slide up the track with 8 to go, making Mikey slow down? What if Todd Bodine messed up and Mikey was able to get by? Could have been another win for Michael Waltrip. The 5th race is the 2002 Aaron's 499. Nothing really shocking here, as this was during the DEI plate race dominance. Mikey qualified in the 2nd row, was up front all day, led laps, and eventually almost edged out Dale Jr. at the line. What if he was able to get a better run off the corner, or time the move better to win? Another almost for Mikey here. Next up is the 2002 Sam's Club 200. Michael Waltrip would start 4th and have an amazing run, being the fastest car on the racetrack. He would lead laps and run down the leader on several occasions. With 3 to go, Michael was able to track down former MWR driver Jeff Green for the win.
Closing, and Michael is faster, but can he get by? He's looking on the inside, but Jeff Green comes down.
The nudge, does he move him out of the way? 2 to go when they come back.
Jeff cannot let him get underneath, because if Michael does get a nose under there, he'll be gone.
Waltrip pressuring Jeff Green, McMurray there in case either one of them slip. Biffle not far behind. White flag when they come back. Waltrip looking to the inside. Got the fender to the inside of Jeff Green. Oh, contact. Waltrip hits Green. Here comes McMurray through.
As you see here on the replay, Jeff Green would come down on Mikey and cause Mikey to get loose. What if Jeff Green didn't pinch Mikey down? Well, even the commentators thought Michael Waltrip would drive away with the race win, so that's likely what would have happened. Next up is the 2003 Sylvania 300, which was the closest Michael Waltrip's ever come to winning a cup race on this list. Michael Waltrip had a great car all weekend and qualified on the 3rd row. He was inside the top 5 for almost the entire day and had the fastest car towards the end of the race. The 15 car took the lead just as the final round of green flag pit stop started, and then it was time for Mikey to make his final stop of the day. All he and his team needs to do here is have no mistakes on this pit stop, and he has this race win in the bag.
Here comes Michael Waltrip. The leader is in. 29 laps to go.
On the pit road, just a couple of seconds of fuel to turn. He took the gas can with him. He took the gas can with him down pit road.
Oh, no!
There'll be a penalty for leaving the pit stall with equipment.
Jimmy Johnson would eventually pass him while Mikey served his penalty, and Waltrip would finish outside the top 20. A tough break after a sure victory. If that mistake hadn't happened, then Michael Waltrip would have gotten his first short track win in the Cup Series. Race number 8 on this list is Michael Waltrip's most dominating race without a win, the 2003 Good Sense 300 at Kansas in the Busch Series. Mikey drove arguably the fastest car of his career as he sat on the pole with a new track record in qualifying. During the race, Mikey would repeatedly drive off into the sunset, putting gaps of about 6 seconds to second place at times. However, with a sure victory in sight after leading almost 3/4 of the race, things would go wrong.
Oh my goodness, the race leader. 5 laps to go.
Oh, man.
What if Mikey's tire didn't blow? Well, Mikey would have won, that's for sure. The 9th race on this list is the 2004 Winn-Dixie 250 in the Busch Series. This race was another one dominated by DEI. Mikey would start on the 5th row and lead the early part of the race. However, he would disappear from the front until late in the race. With new tires, Michael Waltrip would storm to the lead from 25th a few laps earlier and be in position to win at Daytona 4 years in a row.
Boy, this is got
Clear, coming back.
What I see is 60.
Oh, he's funny. Oh, man. Leffler got into the back of Mikey and spun him.
The race to the checker would be interesting as well, because after dumping Mikey, Jason Leffler would put none other than Dale Earnhardt Jr. into the wall and allow for Mike Wallace, of all people, to win the race. Now what if Jason Leffler didn't spin Michael Waltrip? Well, Mikey would have probably won. The 10th race on this list is the 2005 UAW GM Quality 500 in the Cup Series. Mikey would start the race in 32nd, but would work his way to run in the top 10 in under 100 laps. A little before halfway, Mikey would ride out in 3rd place for a while, and then took the lead in just 2 laps. Granted, with a little help. But he would hold on to the lead and run away from the field, having one of, if not the fastest car on the track. Eventually, a caution came out because of a tire failure. Now, something needs to be talked about. During this race, about 10 cars were taken out due to tire failures, prompting NASCAR to tell teams to change tire pressures to prevent tire blowouts. Tony Gibson, Mikey's crew chief, brung the 15 car down pit road to play it safe, saying that Mikey's car was good enough to get back up front. However, during Mikey's charge through the field, things obviously went wrong.
We got Carl
Blowing up behind you.
Jamie McMurray, Michael Waltrip, they got Dale Jarrett.
Got in it.
Carl Edwards slides by.
This is yet another painful defeat after a strong day for Michael Waltrip. The second to last race in this list is the 2008 Lennox Industrial Tools 301 at New Hampshire in the Cup Series. Nothing really to talk about here. Mikey was only in position to win because of fuel strategy and rain. He was second behind Kurt Busch, who had less fuel than Mikey. Eventually, when Kurt Busch was being slowed down by the lap car of Robbie Gordon, Mikey looked to take the lead and outlast Kurt Busch on fuel. However, the caution came out for a wreck in turn 3, and during the yellow, rain started to come down, which eventually ended the race. What if there was no wreck and they continued to race? Would Mikey be able to pass Kurt Busch for the win before the rain got there? Probably, because laps before the caution came out, Kurt Busch's car was falling apart, which would likely cause Kurt Busch to go to the garage area and give Michael Waltrip the win. Now this is the last race on this list, and is the most recent and iconic moment of Michael Waltrip almost winning. I don't need to explain much else, so here's the race.
Michael Waltrip in the 55. Into the picture. Pushed by Casey Mears. Kenseth with Harvick behind him. Oh, there's contact. Stewart into the middle of the pack and over.
If only Tony Stewart didn't throw a late block, then Michael Waltrip would have likely won. So that's it. Those are the 12 races Michael Waltrip almost won. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a safe and happy holidays.